The Cold War Pressure Cooker. The story of the Goldsboro nuclear accident doesn't begin in North Carolina. It begins inside a global panic, an age where fear wasn't just an emotion, it was a strategy. Welcome to the Cold War, a time when the world felt like one giant pressure cooker, and the United States and the Soviet Union were the two hands hovering over the stove, each determined not to blink first. By 1961, the tension between the superpowers was no longer just political, it was personal. Rivalry seeped into everything: technology, space exploration, influence, military muscle, even ideology itself. Each nation believed that the slightest show of weakness could be the spark that set off a global inferno. And in that environment, nuclear weapons became the ultimate symbol of power, and the ultimate shadow looming over human existence. For American leaders, the biggest fear wasn't simply that the Soviets had nuclear bombs. It was that one day, without warning, a swarm of Soviet missiles might appear on radar screens, hogging over the Arctic and aimed directly at American cities. In those days, the technology for early detection was primitive. Radar misreadings were common. Communications were slow. Decisions often had to be made in minutes, sometimes in seconds. And so the United States created a plan so bold, so risky, and yet so terrifyingly logical in the logic of Cold War strategy, that it shaped the entire nuclear arsenal. Operation Chrome Dome. Under Chrome Dome, nuclear-armed B-52 bombers took to the skies 24 hours a day. Not occasionally, not during a crisis. Every single day. These planes flew along predetermined routes that traced the edges of the Soviet Union. Routes that kept them close enough to strike if war ever broke out, but far enough away to avoid provoking one by accident. At any moment, the president could give the order, and the airborne bombers could launch an attack within minutes. They didn't need to take off. They were already up there, engines roaring, loaded with thermonuclear weapons, circling silently above oceans, ice fields, and American farmland. To ordinary Americans below, the sky looked peaceful, but above them, out of sight, massive jet bombers cruised with weapons capable of ending millions of lives. The Cold War wasn't fought in trenches. It was fought in the air, in invisible patrols, and in unspoken threats. But why take the enormous risk of flying nuclear weapons over your own country? Why risk mechanical failures, human mistakes, or freak accidents? The logic, Cold War logic, is chillingly simple. If your nuclear weapons are on the ground, they can be destroyed in a surprise Soviet attack.